Grayson Report, happy Monday. What is up? Tammy, Carol, D Nice, Matthew, Joanne, Lisa Boo, Chris Barber, Gunner Girl, Jennifer Marie, what is up? How's everyone doing? How is your Monday going? How was your weekend while we wait for people to trickle in? It is Halloween week already. It came quickly. Halloween, as you know, is on Thursday. Cannot wait. Enjoyed this month immensely. Chris already found him. He's kind of in an easy spot, though, guys. But as always, guys, Skeleduck, because Chris already mentioned it, Skeleduck is somewhere in this background. Just remind me at the end of the stream, and I will reveal his location. If you are new to the channel and wondering what the hell Skeleduck is and what am I talking about, he is, give me a quick second, he is pictured in my upper left-hand corner. Might be your upper right-hand corner. That is what he looks like. It doesn't matter what studio I'm in. I will hide him if I remember to bring him. And he is somewhere in this studio, in my background. And he's somewhere, and it's always somewhere where you can see. Sometimes maybe not, but Delaya Lux, what is up? Lisa Boo's looking forward to see the little kids in costume. Jennifer Murray goes, where is this Halloween costume? That kind of is his Halloween costume. I mean, I guess I could have put a little hat on him or something. Maybe Thursday. You guys gave me an idea. Let me see if I can whip something up. Carol goes, I finished my dining, put it all back together and clean. Super cool. D Nice, what is up? The Dodgers, if you are into sports, I'm not too much into sports. I'm just glad they're not here at Dodger Stadium today because the traffic was bad on Friday or Friday and Saturday. Delaya went back to work after nearly 3 weeks. Oh, wow. That is a long time to be away from work. Jennifer Murray goes, by the way, you pronounced costume correctly. My family is always telling me I say it wrong, but you clearly just proved me right. That's how I always say it. Is there another way of saying it? I mean, that's how I've always heard it. I'm born and raised here in SoCal, so I mean... Chris Barber goes, just get him one of those gaucho glasses and mustache things. Jennifer Murray goes, there's another wrong way to say it. I've heard weird pronunciations of it. I have. So maybe it's one of those that I'm thinking of. But that's how I've always said it. All right, guys, before we get into the creepy vintage costumes, and let me tell you, I feel like those are scarier than some of the movies we have now. I do have this article while we wait for people to trickle in. Curious Potato, what is up? Glad you can make it. Matthew goes, that's the biggest quack I've ever heard. Julissa, what is up? All right, there's a scientific study that allegedly reveals the scariest movie ever and the scariest of 2024. And sometimes I like reading these because sometimes the movies they pick are not scary. So let's see what they have crowned the scariest movie ever and the scariest of 2024. While we wait for people to trickle in. We aren't sure whether to trust a British comedy whose primary service is to save its members money on household items, but we'll go with it. If anything, it's a rage bait, and if so, we're sorry-ish, but it can't be that bad. The word science is in the title. Science of a Scare is an annual experiment that measures how a horror movie affects the viewer's physical response. It is conducted by Money Supermarket, a British consumer group that shows horror movies to people every year and records their heart rates. Those results are then calculated in rank. Dread Central reported on this and revealed that Oddity was the scariest movie of 2024. What? I have not seen that one, by the way. I did see an ad for it that piqued my interest. Now this really is going to pique my interest. I will have to check it out. Is it the first time people are watching these films? I would assume when they're doing this scientific study, because if you've seen it more than once, obviously the scare factor drops. The company has been doing this product since 2020, so it's been 4 years now. So here, the list of 2024's scariest film. Oddity ranking out as number 1, it looks like, on this list. Terrifier 3. I have not seen it, but I can probably guarantee you Terrifier 3 is not scary. It's gory. For me, it's more of a blood fest than it is scary. So I haven't seen the third one, but I have seen the first one and the second one. And if the third one is any indications of the first two or similar to the first two, except I know the third one takes place around Christmas, it's probably going to be about the same. Stop motion, I have not seen. I've heard of. Immaculate, I heard of. It's a lot of these movies I have to see. I haven't seen these. Long Legs is on my list. I just haven't had a chance to see it. I was waiting for it to come on streaming. I don't think it's on streaming yet. The First Omen I saw was not scary. But then I'm a different breed. I don't really get scared by horror movies anymore. Not like when I was a kid. And I don't watch them to get scared. I watch them because I enjoy them. Late Night with the Devil. If you guys have not seen that one, that was a crazy twist. Interesting movie. It is on Shudder. Alien Romulus, Speak No Evil, and The Substance. The Substance, I heard, is that movie with Demi Moore, which I have not seen yet. So I have to, I got to put these all on my list to check them out. Science of Scare explains their process, the scare score system, which combines both heart rate measured in beats per minute and heart rate variance measured in milliseconds, returns for 2024. I didn't even know someone was doing this, but this is kind of cool, I guess. With heart rate, the higher the number, the faster the movie got our audience's blood pumping. An indicator of excitement and fear is part of your fight or flight instinct. But what if you're just excited and your heart rate went up? Doesn't necessarily mean that you're scared. You're just excited for the movie. I know that's how I get I get really excited when I'm watching horror films. Scariest of all time. If you don't agree with their choices of the 2024, then you might be surprised at their all-time list. The number 1 movie. Really? That's why I like reading these, because they always pick like these. The number 1 movie, we'll get into it, that got viewers' hearts racing is Scott Derrickson's 2012 movie Sinister, starring Ethan Hawke. That movie, I love that movie. Amazing film. I didn't find that it was scary. Maybe some people do. I didn't. But then again, like I said earlier, I am a different kind of breed when it comes to horror movies. Sinister had originally been crowned the scariest of all time in our initial 2020 study. I think I remember seeing that, before losing the top spot to Host in 2021. However, it was Sinister's ability to give our viewers that sinking feeling that edged it back into first place. Host, I believe I saw it. It's not, to me, that's not scary either. I'm just a different kind of breed, I guess. So their list, we're going to go through. I'm going to read a few. I'm not going to go through, but I'll read the top 10. So number 1, according to the scariest movie of the year or of all time. This was all time, right? This is all time. All time. They consider Sinister to be the scariest movie of all time. Nah, not for me. Great movie. If you guys have not seen it, it is an older film. It is a great movie. Host also is a great movie. Came in at number 2. Number 3 is Skinna Marink. Never heard of it. Number 4 is Insidious. Not scary. Number 5, The Conjuring. Number 6, Hereditary. I am going to. You didn't hear it from me, but Hereditary is overrated. That's the only reason why I watched it. And I felt that was very overrated. They were talking about it as the greatest film of that year when it came out, and honestly, it really isn't. Smile, I didn't really like that movie. I may have to revisit it, but I didn't like it. I like the if you guys haven't checked it out, I believe it's on YouTube if you can find it. The fan film that Smile was inspired by. The fan film, in my opinion, is better than the first movie. I have not seen the second one. The Exorcist of Emily Rose. Talk to Me. I still have to see. Hell House is pretty cool. It's the if I'm thinking of the right one, it's the shaky cam kind of Blair Witch type filming, first person cam type of thing where you're seeing it in the actor's point of view, and that ends the top 10. Not saying any of these movies are bad, but yeah. What do you guys think? Matthew goes Tangy Pickle Doritos, Jumping Jack Cheese Doritos. Both are good. I don't know about the pickle one, but the Jumping Jack one I would probably try. D Nice, I totally agree. The best scary movies are those that don't foreshadow with the music. Exactly. Rooster, what is up? Chris Barber, I agree. Most scary movies aren't really scary, but when you were a kid, everything's scary. So I think it's more scary. It's much more scarier when you're a kid. Because I remember watching, what was it, The Howling? And I recently watched it. One of my favorite werewolf movies growing up. Loved The Howling. I was never scared of it, but I loved The Howling. Because they don't make a lot of werewolf movies. They do have a lot of vampire movies, but it's very, when it comes to werewolf movies, it's very limited. They do have some great ones, but I feel like there's more vampire movies and other type of horror than there is werewolves. I saw it again and I was like, it's kind of cheesy, like the older that you look at it, but I still enjoyed it. Still love it. I love the werewolves in it. Chris Barber, I agree, gore isn't scary. Carol goes, Mothman prophecies didn't bother me. Curious Potato, Sinister is good though. Yeah, Sinister, don't get me wrong, it's good. It's a good movie. If you guys have not seen it, I'm sure it's streaming somewhere. Very good movie. I enjoyed it. I think there's a second one too as well. I liked them both. Julissa goes, you don't scare easy. I don't. Curious Potato, exactly. No Exorcist, I agree. Because Exorcist was iconic back in 1973, but I guess it doesn't have that same effect nowadays. D Dice goes, Blair Witch just made everyone dizzy. Again, the ending was funny. And then I believe the hype with Blair Witch was people thought it was real. And it also brought in the shaky cam first person type of perspective films. And it was followed by the paranormal activity. Emily, what is up? Chris goes, the end was stupid when D turned into Suzuki. I mean, she still looked cool though. The werewolves are cool from that. You can't, they cannot, because that was not CGI back then. That's the one thing I like about films back then, is that there was no CGI. They did more practical effects back then than they did CGI. And they even tried to do Chucky CGI and it didn't go well. I don't think they ever went back to that, thank goodness. The Hulu show, I think this is the last season. I think it was canceled, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's coming back. But the Hulu show did not use the CGI Chucky. They used the practical effects. Thank goodness. All right, before I get into the vintage costumes that are going to give you nightmares for sure. Looking at them, I feel like those are more scarier than much more scarier than some of the movies I've seen lately. If I saw that costume in the middle of the night, I think I would definitely have nightmares. But I wanted to go over where I know we did the history of Halloween on a previous stream. If you guys want to check that out and missed it, just check out my previous lives. We do know that it Halloween was origins are with Celtic, with the Samhain, which Samhain is also, if you are Wiccan, Samhains believe that is the end of the year, and it is also where the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest. They say if you do spell work, that is the best time to communicate. If you do that kind of thing. But where did the Halloween costumes come from? Like, when did we start wearing Halloween costumes? Nerd Report in the house. What is up? Curious Tim Burton used practical effects. He used both, actually, because I think they were running out of time. And on some scenes, he did use, if I'm not mistaken, on the new Beetlejuice, he did use some CGI. They convinced him to use some CGI because I think they were running out of time. I don't exactly know the exact details, but he did. I think he didn't want to, but they convinced him to. Emily, I have to recheck the American Werewolves in London because when I was a kid, I did not like that film, but I need to recheck that out. I've been meaning to, been putting it on my list because when I was a kid, I didn't like Evil Dead, and now I do. I did not see the concept of comical horror, but now I do. So I think I might now like American Werewolf in London, and I know a lot of people like that film, so I need to look at it. Nerd Report goes, thanks for supporting Lisa. So what is the history of the Halloween costume? I know Halloween is probably one of my favorite holidays more than anything else. What is there not to like about Halloween? So spooky season is upon us, which means it will soon be time to take your little ones Halloween costume shopping, or perhaps you need to come up with a fun costume idea for work or a costume party. Whether you go for a classic scary costume like a vampire or witch, or a pop culture based costume like Barbie or Taylor Swift, hell no. Have you ever, Barbie's kind of technically a horror film if you think of it. Have you ever wondered how Halloween costumes have changed over time, or where dressing up for Halloween came from in the first place? As a theatrical institution, costumes are kind of our thing, so let's go on a journey discovering the evolution of Halloween costumes. This is the Children's Theater Company where I got this article from. I kind of like this article because it kind of breaks it down between like the 30s and the 20th century. Halloween, its familiar traditions of trick-or-treating and dressing up in costumes, hasn't always been the candy-coated, family-friendly holiday we know today. In fact, the origins of Halloween began over 2,000 years ago with the Celts celebrating the pagan holiday known as Samhain, which marks the beginning of winter, which I did not say the beginning of winter, but it does, which I had said earlier. This time of year was believed to be when the veil between the dead and the living was the thinnest and people would wear disguises to ward off spirits. This tradition was carried over to North America when Irish immigrants fled famine in the 40s, just as traditions like carving turnips to hold candles to keep evil spirits away turned into carving pumpkins. Instead, because pumpkins were more plentiful in North America, the tradition of legitimately terrifying disguises eventually turned into the more commercial costume wearing we know today. Early 20th century, costumes weren't geared toward current events or characters like today, but rather toward spooky themes that were still in the vein of scaring off ghosts or spirits. During this time, teens and youth donned disguises to hide their identities as they committed tricks and pranks to such violent and problematic extent that it became problematic and cities considered banning the holiday. In the 30s, with the Great Depression elevating violence and vandalism, communities and neighbors started more familiar traditions of passing out candy, costume parties, and haunted houses to curb unwanted behavior. It was around this time that children were afforded more costume options like that of Mickey Mouse, who made his film debut in the 1928's Steamboat Willie, which he is now on open domain, and the horror people are going crazy with him. I think they are coming out with a Mickey versus Minnie horror film. There's a horror film out now. I think it's called Mickey's Toy. I forgot what it's called. I did see it. It's honestly, it really is a low budget horror film, and it's on Peacock. Hold on, I forgot the name of it. I went blank. The Mousetrap. It's on Peacock. It really is a low budget film. I did get a chance to see it. Like I said, it is low budget, and you can tell it's low budget. Great idea. Started out strong, but it started just near after that. But if you guys want to check it out, it is on Peacock if you have Peacock. Box costumes from department stores like Sears were a luxury many couldn't afford during the Great Depression, so homemade costumes were still very prevalent. In the 40s, World War II influenced the traditions of Halloween by bringing about the advent of sexy costumes, stemming from pinup photos made popular by both Hollywood and the U.S. government. Wartime also brought forth rationing of sugar, causing a decrease in trick-or-treating and an increase in homemade costumes and masks. In the 50s, mass-produced box costumes became more affordable, to the middle class in the 50s, and kids started wearing costumes from popular movies and comics like Batman or Frankenstein. In addition to classics like princesses or clowns, westerns were very popular in the 50s television, inspiring a spike of cowboys and culinary insensitive portrayals of indigenous peoples. In the 70s, starting in the 60s, but really taking off in the 70s, came an injection of feminism and politics into Halloween costume culture. For example, 1966 Catwoman, played by Julie Newmar, in the Batman TV series inspired many catsuit costumes. Presidential masks became more prevalent in the 70s, and events like Watergate and anti-war marches. Starting mainly in the 70s, Halloween became the one night a year that the gay and trans community could freely express their identities. For example, there were laws in San Francisco against wearing clothing of the opposite sex, so Halloween presented an opportunity to circumvent those laws. In the 80s, kicking off in the 70s and launching us in the 80s was a boom in pop culture related costumes. A new era of horror films emerged, making way for iconic costumes of Michael Myers from Halloween, which Michael Myers started the slasher craze, Jason from Friday the 13th, and Freddy Krueger of Nightmare on Elm Street. A rise in sci-fi and fantasy films like Star Wars and E.T. also spawned a whole new collection of Hollywood costumes, thanks to the visionary minds of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. The 1990s to today. From the 90s onward, the trend of pop culture greatly inspired Halloween costume continues. It definitely does, because you're going to see, it depends. I think one year when Suicide Squad came out, all you saw were a bunch of Harley Quinns. Also, too, you would see stuff. I mean, if you go, I don't think trick-or-treating you see, but if you go to a convention with the cosplay, you see a lot of like horror cosplays, and you always see, Jason's, Freddy's, Michael's. So it does make sense. And then also, too, you might see like someone that's dressed up as a doctor, or like a profession that they may want to be, or a baseball player, or people do something crazy. I saw a kid that made it to the news. He was a baseball card of his favorite Dodger baseball players, which was kind of cool. Popular film-related costumes in the 90s and early 2000s include Marty McFly from Back to the Future, The Terminator, Lloyd and Harry from Dumb and Dumber, Austin Powers, Ghostface. You see a lot of Ghostface from Scream and characters from Harry Potter. 90s and 2000 pop icons like Britney Spears and the Spice Girls were also very popular costume trends. If you were a 90s kid, you perhaps dressed up as a Power Ranger for Halloween. Case in point, this millennial author dressed up as the pink Power Ranger one year. TV show characters also made for popular costumes, with the most popular Halloween costume in 2004 being SpongeBob SquarePants. According to the National Retail Federation in 2023, participation in Halloween-related activities resumed to pre-pandemic levels, with 69% of consumers planning to celebrate the holiday this year, up from 65% in 2021 and comparable to 68% in 2019. In 2023, it's no surprise that a large percentage of costume ideas stem from online searches such as social media platforms, Instagram and TikToks, definitely because we are very social media influence. There's a lot of social media influencers that give their take on things, and it's no different when it comes to Halloween costumes and ideas. The top costume in 2022 was Spider-Man. For pets, it was pumpkin, and for adults, it was a witch. That is crazy, kind of cool. Halloween costumes have become a multi-billion-dollar industry with no signs of slowing down, and the intent behind these traditions have changed immensely since their introduction to our country in the mid-1800s. No longer a tactic to ward off evil spirits, which it isn't. I don't think anyone even thinks that Halloween, the point of wearing the costume was to ward off evil spirits at the beginning. We have, I know in other countries they do celebrate spirits. Here in the States, we don't celebrate spirits. We kind of, when someone passes away, we kind of mourn them. I know in other countries they do respect them and celebrate them in a way. I do see more people celebrating life than mourning nowadays, but I don't think anybody, like I was saying, knows that it was to ward off evil spirits. Halloween costumes of today serve the purpose of self-expression and acting out our fantasies by dressing up as our favorite character or creatures. So whether you land on a classic costume this year like a mummy or Frankenstein's monster, or something more modern like Wednesday Addams, pretty sure there's going to be a lot of Wednesday Addams, or Mario, CTC wishes you a happy holiday. So that's kind of crazy. I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of Wednesday. I'm pretty sure Beetlejuice, because the Beetlejuice came out. You may see Ripley from Alien. That would be a cool costume. A kid walking around like Ripley. That would be super cool. I'm trying to think what was big this year besides Beetlejuice. I know we're probably going to see a lot of the maybe Venom, maybe some superhero, Penguin, maybe, because Penguin's on Max. I don't think kids are watching Penguin. Batman, there's always going to be a Batman. Curious Potato has a Freddy glove. That is so cool. Delay and Lux goes, weren't some of those costume twisted looking like yes. The Freddy ones are crazy. You do see a lot of that. That is what is it called? Nightmares at Freddy's. That's a popular game with kids, so a lot of people dress up as that. Heather, what is up? What's up, Kyle? How's it going? Matthew goes, the 80s also had those masks with lights around the eyes. I think there's still people that do that. D-Nice wants to be a Harley Quinn. Lisa Boo goes, Sonic is big this year, so there might be a lot of Sonic. I did see, it's funny, because there was someone on the, I almost gave away where I live. On the Facebook page of the city I live in, they were asking for a Sonic costume. Kyle goes, I think it's so random that Michael Myers' mask is just a painted William Shatner face mask. It is. Which is crazy that they made that mask look that creepy looking, or his face looking creepy looking. Tales to Told in the Dark. What is up? Oh, I totally agree with you, Matthew. Matthew saying was better back when we went door to door, while many today go to the park for those trunk or treats. I do notice a lot of places now have trunk or treats. In fact, the elementary school down the street from where I live, that I had gone to, had a trunk or treat last Friday. And I mean, we did the trick or treating, and there was also a carnival at the elementary school when I was growing up. But it does seem like more and more people are going to like the trunk or treats, or they're going to like the church. I know the Christian church down the street. They have something. They have like this huge. They block out their entire parking lot, and they have like a carnival. I've never gone to it, but I do find the ad hilarious. They're like, just no devils are allowed. You could dress up, just no devils or demons. Because it is a Christian church. But I do agree with you. It seems like it's going to that direction. And I do know a lot of people don't pass out candy because for example, I know my street probably doesn't because all the kids are grown on my street and we're pretty much all adults. I don't think there's any kids on my street. So I don't think there's a lot of people giving out candy on my street, and very few people have decorated their house in my neighborhood. I do notice that too. Kyle goes, I'd be an ugly Sonic. Very true, Julissa, but so clever how they turned it into a Michael Myers mask. Gutter Girl goes, it doesn't look like Captain Kirk. He doesn't even recognize himself. It doesn't. I mean, the cast does. The if you look at like the cast that they took from his face, it does, but not the mask. It does not at all. Carol goes, we have no kids around me too. And I do know like my city has like a map that they put out every year of houses that pass out candy, which is kind of cool. And you just sign up and you put your house on it, which I think is cool because then it lets you know like where to go to get candy. But I do know like a lot of people in my neighborhood, I don't really pass out candy myself either. I never really did. When I was a kid I did, but not as I grow older I never did. So I so it just seems like I think that's why they're doing the trunk or treats more because there's less and less people possibly passing out candy. Kyle goes, my old apartment complex and the surrounding neighborhoods don't do the candy, but the shops at ground level host a Halloween event. I'll share the pics on the Telegram. Oh, that's cool. Actually, that's cool, Kyle. Chris goes, there's a lot of kids in my hood. I mean, I guess there's kids in my neighborhood, just not necessarily up my street because I do have an elementary school like literally the next block over. So there's got to be kids somewhere, but it's like I rarely see a kid outside. I mean, obviously it's the sign of the times. We have a lot of electronics, there's TV, there's video games. Kids are tending to those things now instead of being outside, which I think is sad because as a kid, I was outside playing, riding my bike and going to the park. That was the fun things, having an adventure. But Joanne, I know a lot of people do that too. I put a bowl full of candy out on the porch and they say take one, but then you'll get that greedy kid that will take the whole thing. Gunner Girl goes, nobody has come trick-or-treating for years. It's been kind of creepy. Oh, that is weird. And I know too, like a lot of the prices too. I saw an article where a lot of people may not be buying some of that candy that they normally buy because the prices as well have gone up on candy. So, that too. Julissa goes, kids are too lazy to walk up to our street. I get maybe 3 to 5 every year, so I just make sure to have full size candy bars for the brave ones. Hey, make it worth it for them. Joanne is washing in the window, making sure that they don't take all the candy. She's ready to say something if they do. Yeah, that's a good idea, Joanne. That is. I did see that. I saw that, Matthew. I did see that he posted that. Lisa Boo, referring also, I believe she's referring to Matthew's comment. Yep, the lady taking the whole bowl on YouTube video, she was so shamed. Exactly. Like, dude, there's cameras everywhere nowadays. How do you think you could get away with something? Literally, there's cars that have cameras now. Like everyone honestly has a camera in their house. If not a Ring doorbell one, they have one on their driveway as well that talks to you. Joanne goes scares the heck out of them when I knock on the window. Emily goes, the pandemic killed it here. We never see kids out anymore. True, could be that too. D Nice goes, sorry, back. No kids in my neighborhood since the 90s because we middle age now. But it is. And then, like, if there's a big old hill or anything, kids aren't gonna walk up it if you have a big long driveway. I remember a woman was saying, "Hey," she posted last year. I think it was last year on the Facebook page for the city, and she's like, "Hey, I have candy. Like, I have a long driveway. We're passing out candy. Please come. I've got a lot." So, um, because there's kids that won't want to walk up a driveway. There are a few in my neighborhood that are long and the house goes in the back. So it's like I would take advantage of that long driveway. I would make it spooky. If I had one. Curious Potato goes true. It's really hard to be a serial killer with all the cameras. Yeah, but it still happens. People, yeah, but they still get caught somehow though. It's weird. They'll check city cameras to see, like, they'll get a clue as if a crime has happened, and they'll check every, like, the route that people had said that they saw the person. They would check the cameras at the intersections. So I mean, it's like it's crazy. D Nice goes, I'm just tempted to do a trick because not passing out candy. Ha, I made you look. Curious Potato goes, where am I supposed to bury all the bodies? I know I've said this before, but there is a meme where this is the only time of year that you can have a body in a rocking chair in front of your house and nobody's gonna know. They're gonna think there's a meme going around. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. It's true though. It's true. It's like, what was that? The movie that was based on it. It was like a horror attraction, and the killer was in the horror attraction. Hellfest. That's like a perfect disguise for, you know what I mean? Because no one's gonna think you're in a horror attraction. No one's gonna think that there's a, you know what I mean, going around. Matthew goes, Wesley Snipes Twixt did a Twix post saying watch out and had a candy bar with his image of Blade. Oh, that's cool. D Nice goes, I posted a pic of one of the decorations in my man's neighborhood. They go all out. I think there's somewhat, I don't know where it is, but they have like a graveyard that they posted in my city. I don't know what street it's on. I was gonna check it out, but it's probably further away from me. But she posted it on Telegram. Oh yeah, D Nice, I did see that. With the demon girl. That was crazy. That's all you need sometimes. Less is scarier. There's a house that has a bunch of skeletons. They have the big 12-foot skeleton, the big, half skeleton, with white pumpkins. I always said they do the same thing every year, and I think it's cool. Like, they keep it all white, and it matches their house, so it looks cool. Joanne goes, the neighbors have a graveyard set up on the lawn. I've seen a few in my neighborhood. Lisa Boo, I will check that out when I get a chance. I sent you the pic of the butchers with googly eyes. D Nice goes, I love that people are just buying those now and dressing them up. They do that too. So that comes to our next topic, which YouTube may shut me down for this. Curious Potato goes, have you seen Don't Look Now, classic scare? You know what, Curious Potato, that sounds familiar. Don't Look Now. I think I have. It sounds familiar. And I want to give a shout out to Heather Salvatore for her PayPal. Whoop, whoop. Hearts for Heather Salvatore, guys. Thank you, Heather Salvatore. I appreciate that. Hold on. What is it called? Don't Look Now. I think I've seen it. It sounds familiar. Have I seen that? No, I have not seen that one. I have to check that out. 1973. No, I have not seen that one, Curious Potato. It sounds familiar, though. Daniel, what is up? So, this is the 40 vintage Halloween costumes that will haunt your nightmares, and I have seen some of these, and they are crazy looking. Like I said earlier, I feel like these are scarier than some of the costumes and even some of the movies that we see nowadays. From doll masks to bags over heads to outfits that can't even be described with words, these vintage Halloween costumes are supremely creepy. In the previous article, it did mention that a lot of people during the Great Depression couldn't afford like the box store costumes. So what they did was they made their own. And I think making your own costume is actually pretty awesome than actually buying it. The Halloween costumes of today may be flashy, complicated, and over the top, but in days gone by, there were enough horror for everyone in simple masks. While these outfits were quite basic and often just composed of something like a bag over someone's head, these get-ups were also a million times creepier than any costume you've seen today, and I totally agree with this author. We've scoured the archives for some of the creepiest vintage Halloween costumes of all time. So, yes, this is a Halloween costume. Yes, it is creepy as hell. YouTube may shut me down. It doesn't say like where from, but you also got this. And honestly, this honestly just looks like they made this mask out of paper and put it on. And it looks creepy as hell. Sometimes the simplest of things can make something look creepy. And this is a good example in this picture. You've got this one. It doesn't say what, like, where these are from. Daniel, if it was just one, it wouldn't be as creepy, true. But still, even if you have like one kid with the one mask going like this, in a black and white photo, you got a creepy thing in this photo already. But like standing like in the window where you're taking the picture, they probably couldn't do it back then. But and you catch that with the kid going like that and just with like a blank stare and standing there with like the light behind them, that would look creepy as hell. Lisa Bugos, it was always so cold here. We would be like the Stay Puffed Man for Halloween. Matthew goes, that one looks fake because it made it look too much like Sam. Kind of, but that's more of a skull, though. That's like a skull on the first one. And then they added, it looks like it's a skull. And they added like the horns on it. You got these guys, they look like demented clowns. Or puppets. These actually look like puppets. Like from the movie Dolls. Like on that guy's shelf. Though I feel like these are more like the costumes that you bought at the store. Way back in the day. These look more like that. Like that is a creepy adult baby. Well, I don't know if that's adult, but Matthew goes, the second pic looks like a poo emoji. Oh, hold on, guys. Let me go back. You know what that? Well, actually, you know what it does? I did not think of that. That's creepy. The heck is this supposed to be? A spoon? Won't you come and spoon with me? I don't know what this costume is. I have no idea. That costume looks like they took duct tape. They decided to wear all white and put duct tape around him, or ribbon, and a weird mask. Oh, this one looks creepy as hell. Imagine waking up and seeing this at the foot of your bed. This one looks creepy. Lisa Bucos, it's a mummy? Maybe, I don't know. Oh, hold on. There's an ad. No, we don't want to buy a Samsung. Matthew goes, that spoon one seems too new for the spoon joke unless they are a spoon player who plays the spoons like song spoonmen. Maybe. This one's creepy. Because on top of the creepy mask, it has a she's carrying a porcelain doll. Oh my gosh. I actually want those masks. Those look cool. Matthew goes, that looks like Leatherface. Daniel goes, I was going to say she looks porcelain. She does. And I'm guessing there's even like hair on the mask part. I don't know if the pigtails are her hair. It could be her hair. For some odd reason, if I saw this, I'd be laughing. But it's cool though. It's still kind of creepy though. If you saw that running around, that'd be creepy though. Still. Yeah. This one looks like they literally took a sheet and put it around them. Which kind of it looks creepy though. It works. It works. A potato sack. What? This one looks like it is a scarecrow. This one, I have no idea what it is, but a ghost maybe, but still, that looks creepy. Daniel goes cornfield goons. That looks creepy. Super creepy. This it's a little girl, I think. Little girl is doing Jason from Friday 13th part 2 with the potato sack. Curious potato, so creepy. I love it. They are. They're amazing. Like I said, this one looks like they took like a rug. The one on the far right, they took a rug or a sheet and wrapped it around them, and it looks creepy as hell. Sometimes the simplest things you can make creepy stuff. Lisa Boo goes, I was thinking Wizard of Oz, but creepy. Yes. Yes. Definitely. Definitely. Julissa goes, I wouldn't open the door for that group. You know what? I think I'm with you, Julissa, because I'd be afraid if they were actually people or if they were spirits. Because honestly, if you saw this coming up to your door, I wouldn't believe it was actual kids in my neighborhood. I would think it was something sinister. No lie. That looks like something like a ghost in a paranormal movie would wear. Daniel goes, I don't think they want candy. Exactly. Nope. Door is not opening. I'm with you. I'm right with you, Julissa. Matthew goes, they want more than that. Exactly. No. They want my soul or something. I don't know. I'm not going to take any chances. This one's good, though. These costumes are creepy as hell. Matthew goes, this house is purge proof. Exactly. I'm going to bring down the shutters and everything. Daniel goes, they would want your brains. Curious Potato was like, I don't even want to know what they want. Oh, this is even, guys, this one's crazier. Carol, I totally agree. The older costumes are scarier than today. And if you see, they're homemade. Like, this is literally like a paper bag in this next paper bag, and they put hair and crazy faces on them. Gutter Girl would turn the outside light off like nobody was home. Daniel goes, as part of the old movie, Lisa, I Want Your Brains, Return of the Living Dead, one of them. Barbara, they're gonna get you. Or wait a minute, they're coming to get you, Barbara. Lisa Bugo's Unknown Comics, exactly. But literally, all they have is a paper bag on their head, and it looks creepy as hell. Like, you just have them standing and going like this. And like in the darkness with the moon on them, or like the light flickering and some fog. Oh my god, that would look creepy as hell. And then you turn and they're behind you. Whatever direction you go, you'll see them. Heather Salvatore goes, this is old. Do you know what the original New Orleans look was? No, I don't. Yeah. I don't think I would want to open the door for this person either. No. Oh, no way. Heather, whatever. Go, you guys, I'm not going to say it because YouTube will strike me down faster than they have ever striked anyone down before. But Heather Salvatore has put you guys could read her comment. It's a certain clan that I don't want to mention. Tammy's like, nope. Matthew's like Ronald McDonald jokes. Yeah, yeah. Julissa goes, she's so cute. That definitely it is, Heather. Excuse me. These kids even look creepy. But they have a mask and like an outfit. What in the world is this? It's a moth, an insect of some sort on a bicycle. That one creative. I mean, yeah, it is scary. Daniel goes, we have a man or lady here in my town, looks just like that. She said was from London, very creepy person. Oh, wow. Matthew goes, the mosquito. Thank you. Oh, yeah, duh, because it has the long nose. Duh. Now I see it. Yes, mosquitoes are scary. I don't like them. Looks like a picture above. Oh, like this one? And Lisa Boo both said mosquito at the same time. Oh, this one. No way. Really? You have someone that looks like. Whoa, that's creepy looking. We've got this one. They look creepy. That pumpkin looks creepy. I want that pumpkin. Heather Salvatore goes, we had a kid parade and someone had the Mardi Gras outfit. Mardi Gras used to be when people would run and steal chickens, hogs from farmers. Oh, no way. I did not know that. I know about Mardi Gras, but I didn't know like the history of it. Daniel goes, and they wear those weird ball dress clothing. Whoa. Curious Potato, I agree. Old West photos are cool. They are. Like George Washington clothes? That is weird, Daniel. Like they're living in a different time. That's creepy. I'm sorry, that is creepy. This photo, only because it's black and white and there's shadows in it, it looks creepy as hell. But that pumpkin is amazing. I want that pumpkin. It looks like they're doing a seance or something because there's a crystal ball in the middle. D Nice goes post Morty. Curious Potato goes, that is creepy. It is. Even this one is. I mean, I don't find it scary, but I can just imagine if this kid was walking around at night, yes, it would be scary at night. D Nice post-mortem photography. It is. It is. For sure. I can't really show that on YouTube. Like I said, YouTube will probably strike me down faster than any other YouTubers they have never done before. Like this picture just is like a paper bag over their head or a potato sack. Daniel goes, they look all super short. They do. Except for the people in the back, though. They're probably, unless these people are sitting down, the two in front might be sitting down or kneeling. Maybe they might be kneeling because I don't see shoes except this one. The one on the end, I could see feet. Second to the end. Matthew goes Kool-Aid man before there was Kool-Aid. Gunner Girl goes, I had a friend who helped her mom as a mortician. I don't know how she did it. It's so creepy. That is. Curious Potato goes, a body bag. Yes, creepiness factor. Just, yeah. I don't know if I could sleep tonight after seeing this one. No, no, I'm just kidding. I think what makes these creepy is because they're pretty much in black and white. And black and white really shows no color and it shows a lot of shadows. So it really does bring out the creep factor. Daniel goes, I'll give him the Nestea plunge. Curious Potato goes 10 on the creepy scale. The heck is this one? The ghost is cute. I don't know. That mask is weird. These are creepy. They look like they're old gypsy witches. Heather Salvatore goes, that is all they had. Mardi Gras was about the depression. People were starving. Matthew goes, it looks like the dancing Ally McBeal baby with a Santa Claus face. Daniel, go. You guys can read Daniel's comment. D Nice goes, with how long it took to snap a photo back then, no wonder people were not happy taking pics. True, like no one smiled. Lisa Boo goes, like they had a paper mache face. Heather Salvatore goes, there were no face creams. And Daniel was referring to this one. But I'm not going to say what he said. Yeah, this one I don't think I would open the door for either. And the weird thing is there's like no one else. I mean, obviously there's snow, so it's probably cold, so no one's going to be out. But that adds to the creepy figure because there's nobody on the street. Like you see nobody besides this kid in this creepy costume. Heather Salvatore goes, if you smiled, it took your soul. I mean, this is a cool costume of a clown. This reminds me of this picture reminds me of Halloween 3 with the masks. Daniel goes, finally one that looks happy. Matthew, yes, the silver shamrock. It does. It reminds me of it. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Okay, I don't want to get that song stuck in all your guys' head. Because trust me, every time I watch that movie, that song is stuck in my head. If it's not the singing, it's the do 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 do. What is this guy supposed to be? Uh, a piece of meat? Like literally? Side of bacon. Hey, that's an original costume. I've never seen someone dress up as a side of bacon. That's kind of cool, though. Lisa Boo goes too late. Curious Potato goes reminds me of Sakura Killer's old martial art movie. Chris Barber goes baked potato. Daniel goes in. He's the main dish. D Nice goes, so that's where Lady Gaga got her inspiration? Probably. This seems like more of like the mask we kind of see today, but it's still creepy. That one's kind of creepy. Veronica, what is up? How's it going? Heather goes, he's wearing the whole pig. Yeah, it was, but he looks like the devil, Heather Salvatore. These masks are creepy, for sure. I'm going to kind of scroll through some of these because unfortunately there's no what you call it, like a subtext saying what the photo is or where what year it came from, unfortunately. This actually looks like something from The Strangers. Daniel goes, they look like baby slee stalks. Matthew goes, bottom Ray Jason in part 2 with the sack over his head. Heather Salvatore, SpongeBob sister. Heather, whatever, what is up? Matthew, I do agree. This is clearly at the circus. Because they look like circus clowns, and you've got the other kind of the Las Vegas type of dancers in the back. Kind of looks like them with their costumes that they're wearing. That is too weird. I'm gonna pass that picture. That picture looks too weird for me. Plus, it's showing someone's face. I don't want to. I'm guessing they're supposed to be conjoined. This kid looks like he's an elephant or something. That one's too weird. I'm sorry. I'm like, what the heck is going on in this picture? I do not want to know. That's creepy. This picture's creepy because I don't want to know what's going on in the picture. Only because of the placement of the head and yeah, too weird. That was weird. I don't know what was going on in that picture. Matthew goes a rat or a koala by a girl. Daniel goes the cross between Pinocchio and a rhino. Heather Salvatore goes my sister and I doing face masks. Curious Potato goes old photos always makes me stop and think a moment in time that was the present then. It was. It's still. I think they're kind of cool though. The costumes. I felt like those costumes were original. Like you don't see stuff like that anymore because like the nowadays you see more things based on pop culture or movies or what we see what's popular like a popular movie or something. I felt like those costumes were like original and they are scary. Um Super scary. Heather, whatever goes, my mother made me a costume of Martha Washington and it was horrible. Matthew goes with the crap today. I would rather be around that then. Yes. They look way better, more original, scarier, creative. You could see some of the people's creative side comes out and a lot of it, like I said, was just done with a paper bag put over their head. So I mean, they made stuff with what they had, and that's kind of cool. Um Daniel goes, I got a perm so I could dress up like Paul Stanley for Kiss. Heather Salvatore goes, my oldest left my home stuff. That is the best costume, honestly. When someone makes you a costume, um, it's unique, it's original. But it was cool seeing all those different photos of scary costumes. Daniel goes as a kid and dressed up as the baseball players from Warriors, the movie. That's cool. One of the actors from Warriors I saw passed away recently. I think it was today, if I'm not mistaken. And today's the honor. It's already been a year since Matthew Perry's passing from Friends. I was like, holy crap. So today marked the 1 year anniversary of his passing. I was like, whoa, it's already been a year. Time flies. D Nice goes, I'll be sure to share a photo on Thursday of mine. And definitely, I can't wait, D Nice. Heather Salvatore goes, I respect the people that made Big Bird. Heather Whatever goes, I made one for my son, the newspaper kid with Titanic newspaper. That is cool, Heather Whatever. Carol, some of those were. Some of them were really creepy. I liked them though. I really liked them. And like Julissa said earlier, she might have not opened the door for some of them, and me too, because I would question if they were actually kids or if they were spirits trying to get into my house and take my soul. I mean that to me is a Halloween costume. It's creepy, it's unique, it's original. Um but for the most part, this generation, that's what you did. You went to a store and you went and bought a costume. Some people do make them though. Carol goes, my mom made me a costume of Flower from Bambi. That is cool. Lisa Boo, exactly. Flour, sacks, and paper mache. Exactly. And I think that is definitely the creep factor with those simple ingredients. Definitely. Heather Salvatore goes, never always made them until they wanted to buy and then they hated them. Yeah, it's the quality of them too suck. Like you spend all that money and they don't last that long if you make something. Obviously it comes from the heart, and I feel like they fit you better. More original. You don't see another one of you. That's the kind, because if you go and you're thinking you're all hyped about your costume and you see someone else that has it, it's like, you know what I mean? So, all right, guys, I've got one more story and I'll open it up for questions. I found this article for, is the White House haunted? I believe it is. A place like that's seen so much history, there's got to be something there. Spooky stories reveal a history of the supernatural. Over 2 centuries old, the White House has experienced its fair share of ghostly sightings and odd bump in the night noises. There have been accounts of paranormal encounters with long-gone residents, including one of our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd president of the United States. The most well-known spirit to haunt the White House is, without question, Abraham Lincoln's ghost, the 16th president. Its hallways have been filled with strange musical melodies and other eerie sounds. Over time, more occurrences have been recorded. Here's a look at some of the strange ghost experiences that staff, visitors, and past residents have had while in the White House. A musical presidential apparition. Thomas Jefferson playing his violin. The 3rd president of the U.S. was a great lover of music. Jefferson enjoyed playing the violin. He owned at least 3 violins in his lifetime and was considered a very talented musician. It is said the ghost of Thomas Jefferson can be heard playing his violin in the Yellow Oval Room. Mary reportedly told a friend, my, how that Mr. Jefferson does play the violin. First Lady Mary Todd Lincoln, having seen the spirits of her son Willie and husband Abraham Lincoln several times, the First Lady claimed to have heard Jefferson playing his violin in the Yellow Oval Room. The untimely death of Lincoln's son Willie Lincoln, which is sad. Abraham Lincoln and Mary Todd Lincoln, both the president and Mary, have said that they have received several visits from their son Willie after his death. Mary had said she had seen their son at the foot of her bed. Staff of Ulysses S. Grant. In the 1870s, a staff member of the Grant administration had reported having a conversation with Willie Lincoln, while several staff members have said they saw Willie's spirit throughout the White House. Several sightings of Abraham Lincoln's ghost, a thoughtful Abraham Lincoln, after his assassination, YouTube, you didn't hear me say that. In 1865, Lincoln's ghost is said to have appeared in the Yellow Oval Room and the Lincoln bedroom, materializing to First Lady Grace Coolidge, wife of then President Calvin Coolidge, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, and Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands. Lincoln is the most common spirit to haunt the halls of the White House. Just imagine walking through the White House and you see Abraham Lincoln's ghost. I don't know if I would be scared. I think I would be honored to see his ghost. I would be honored. I don't think I'd be scared of that. I'd probably be in shock if I saw it. I'd be like, that. Did I see what I think I saw? First Lady George Coolidge revealed in the American magazine of viewing the ghost of President Lincoln standing by a window in his office. Presentedly, the Lincoln bedroom. The First Lady reported he was looking out toward the Potomac River, which is presumed to be a Civil War battlefield. British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, in a 1940 visit after emerging from a bath, Churchill, naked and smoking a cigar, walked into the main bedroom and saw the spirit of Abraham Lincoln standing by the fireplace. After that, he requested to never sleep in that room again. Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands, try to say that a million times. While visiting in 1942, the Queen heard a knock on her bedroom door, the same room given to Winston Churchill, the Lincoln bedroom. Upon opening the door, she saw the ghost of Lincoln and fainted. The smell of lavender in the air. I no doubt believe that the White House is haunted. I no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that it's haunted. Abigail Adams, the smell of lavender and damp clothes. On several occasions, White House residents and staff members have either seen the ghost of Abigail Adams, America's second First Lady, doing her laundry or reported the smell of lavender and damp clothing in the East Room. What they witnessed, First Lady Lou Hoover, while living in the White House, Lou Hoover, the wife of the 31st president, Herbert Hoover, I'm getting tongue twisted, had seen the ghost of Abigail Adams entering the doors of the East Room, where Adams and the staff were known to hang the family's laundry on clotheslines to dry. White House staff, several staff members have reported smelling the scent of lavender and wet clothes near the East Room. It's on the first floor of the White House. 1920s music. Heather, whatever. Thank you for your super chat. Happy Halloween hearts for Heather, whatever. Thank you, Heather, whatever. I appreciate that. 1920s music coming from a fireplace. In a 2018 interview on the Kelly Clarkson show, Jenna Bush Hager had said she heard 1920s piano music coming from the fireplace in her room. She said our phone rang and I woke up and all of a sudden we heard a 1920s piano music coming out of our fireplace. It was like the middle of the night and you could feel the music out of the fireplace. That is crazy. Jenna Bush Hager, George W. Bush's daughters, Jenna and Barbara, twice heard music coming from the fireplace in the Lincoln Room. Jenna told co-host Hoda Cobb on the Today Show excuse me, that they heard 1920s piano music one week and heard opera music the next. So those are crazy stories from the White House. Curious Potato, I use lavender a lot. I do agree it is very calming. I use it a lot. And to smell it out of nowhere, I wouldn't mind smelling lavender. Curious Potato would also feel honored if they ran into Abraham Lincoln's ghost. It would be cool. So would Matthew. It would be cool. Daniel goes, we have lavender farms here in our mountains. Oh, super cool. All right, guys, I'm going to open it up for questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll give you a few more minutes to look for Skeleduck. I'm pretty sure you guys have found him. He is in an easy spot. Do any of you guys have plans for Halloween? I don't really have any plans. I am streaming on Thursday, so prepare to be spooky. Panda Bear, what is up? Daniel goes, lots of the hippies that grow all the good stuff. Gunner Girl goes, are you dressing up? I have no idea. I may. I do have a skeleton like onesie I could put on for the stream, which I may. Depends on where I'm at, what studio I'm in. D Nice is asking, are you mixing tonight? I may go today or I may mix tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. Heather Salvatore goes, why are you at Lewis's again? I'm holding down the fort. Matthew goes, I don't know, but who am I going to call for fun? Daniel lives in the Emerald Triangle. Kyle is taking my creeper monster out trick-or-treating. Super cool. Chris goes, I used to love dressing up, but nobody has parties anymore. I know. I've never actually gone to like a Halloween party. I do see people that do because they post on Instagram, but uh no one I know. Heather, whatever. Thank you for your PayPal as well. Thanks again, Heather, whatever. Hearts for Heather, whatever. Chris goes, my friends had one every year, but stopped about 8 years ago. Kyle goes, back in the day, I used to host Halloween parties every year. That's cool. Matthew goes, I wish I had a proton pack. They do. But super cool to have. All right, guys, real quick before I forget, Skeleduck is right there in between the fan and the speaker. He was right there. He is glowing in the sunlight, or the not the sunlight, but the light in the room. I just wanted to say sunlight, but he's right there. He is on my right hand side. It's probably your left hand side, but that is where he's at. He kind of, not a very good place to put him because he's like white, and I put him in between two black things, but that's okay. Thank you, Lisa Boo. Daniel goes, I'm comfortable at home. Yeah, same here. Curious Potato goes, Skeleduck, I never see him. Heather Salvatore goes, the red, like my name, kind of hides him a bit. the lower third, I guess is what you call him, with my name on it. Heather Salvatore goes, pick him up. I can't reach him from where I'm at. But he's right there, guys. I can't reach him because I'm hooked. Yeah, because look at, he's like way back here. I still can't reach him. I don't want to pull the cord off. Gunner Girl goes, I miss going out trick-or-treating. Looking forward to going out with my grandson for the oh, that is so cool, Gunner Girl. You're gonna have so much fun. I know what you mean. I miss it too. Because that was always something I looked forward to as a kid, was the trick-or-treating and going house to house. Gunner Girl, have an amazing time. You're gonna have fun. All right, guys, any last minute questions before I end this stream? All right, guys, with that, without further ado, I am going to end the stream here, guys. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Grayson Report. I will see you on the next one, which will be Halloween Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there, be squared. Stay spooky, guys. Sweet nightmares. And I will see you on the next one. And have a great rest of your evening and week. Good night, guys. Thank you guys, too, as well.